Ladies and gentlemen, the Warp World podcast. Woo! Woo! Round of applause. Yay. It's podcast time. Look at him go. He's clapping so hard.
Oh, and I guess I could clap too.
I guess you could.
Hey!
Woo! The gang's all excited. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, this has a cool noise going right now, actually. It's like someone's really getting it.
It's nothing like Cliffside delight, though.
Yeah.
Cliffside delight. That took me a second. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awkward, X-Water. You're still clapping. Awkward.
Come on, man.
Awkward.
Come on.
Sorry, boys.
We're done. We're done.
And you're chewing gum on a podcast, really?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a little yellow bubble gum.
Yeah.
It's bubble gum, but
Yeah.
I mean, you can't pop it. It's just always
It's
bubble.
just always like that.
You know
Well,
what's
that's
kind of
interesting.
Even
where
when
are
you
my
eat
AirPods?
stuff.
You know, where are my AirPods?
That's
I'm looking at
weird
our
that they don't
ears.
have AirPods in this game.
Yeah. Nook pods.
Yep. You would think
Anyway.
they would have wireless headphones.
Yeah.
We should just go ahead and get started with the episode.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Bring it
All right.
in, boss.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Warp World podcast, your premier podcast for gaming. You know what? I'm going to read this because I never read this part, but X-Water writes it every week anyway.
It's copy and pasted, baby.
Yeah, the premier podcast for, gaming,
You're doing
Twitch,
great, honey.
Mario Talk, and news. I'm Grand Pooh Bear, joined by X-Water and Yaku.
That's us.
Yeah, yay! Now we
Yeah.
now
Everybody-
it's clap, guys.
Please clap. Please clap.
Yeah, please
X-
clap, please clap.
X-Water actually spelled it as Yaku, too.
Yeah, Yaku. It's in there. It's in there. I was like, okay, I'll just read it how it is.
Yeah.
We are again here on in the Warp World studio inside of Animal Crossing on Jakku's Fruit Ranch Island. Once again, coming to you live. This is the only place where you don't have to social distance inside Animal Crossing. So we are here virtually, but in reality with each other. How are you all doing this week?
Busy.
Izzy,
Yeah.
what have you been working on?
Oh, man. I have been working on something you may have heard of called Turnip Exchange. That's Turnip.exchange. It's a real website.
Turnip Exchange.
Uh,
Yes, I have heard of this.
It allows users to post their island's details, such as turnip pricing and some other details in there, the time and date, how many visitors they want. And other people can find their island and visit it easily in a manageable queue system. It's revolutionary technology. No one's ever heard of queuing before. You know, we're masters at it here at Warp World, though. That was something we alluded to, I believe, last podcast about being in the works, and we're officially launched as of today. I think it was the official launch, so Thursday. But I think it came out on Tuesday with some people like being like, "Yo, this is awesome," and then Wednesday being like, "Hey, there's a Polygon article, and we're mentioned in it." So. Pretty successful so far. Over 2 million requests, 30 gigabytes of data has been transferred, which is an insane amount of data for a site that's only been up for really 2 days. I'm not going to say the numbers of our other sites, just I don't want to. No other reason, but we're growing way too fast in terms of bandwidth usage, and we do have Cloudflare, so like caching and stuff is a thing. So it's pretty insane. It's pretty amazing. A lot of people have been using it. A lot of people have been using it, and we've been helping a lot of people. And I do need to shout out to CYG, who just became a Patreon. So thank you.
Woo! CYG, thank you so much for joining the Patreon.
Again, if you're a Patreon, if you join during the podcast, I get all the alerts. I shout you out. It's the rules.
Yep. King Jakku, as we like to call him.
Oh my god, yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's just what I need to go to my head. I'm the king.
I'm the
No.
king.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I logged on to my PC on my island, and I went to Turnip Exchange, and I became rich. I went and sold my Actually, we were at the same island this week,
We were.
Jakku. Yeah, we were the first two users, I guess. We went to Turnip Exchange and made that bells, as the kids are saying.
How much
And,
net profit did you guys make off of Turnip Exchange this week? If you want to, obviously, you don't have to share your financial information. I'm not the IRS,
2.8 million bells.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
son.
I
That's
think I made
nice.
3 million in total. I think I spent around 300,000.
But
Yeah.
you know what? I mean, it's not like that crook Tom Nook didn't hear about it, because all of a sudden my loan jumped from 750 to 2.5 million. It was just like that. It was
Damn.
ridiculous.
I
Yeah,
haven't upgraded my house in a fucking while, man. I've been spending all my money on Tarantula Casino.
There's a reason I'm dressed how I am right now. I was fortunate that I was already at the 2.5 million loan when I got my 3 million windfall. And I was going to pay it off, but then I put that money in the ATM to collect that interest on the last day of March.
Oh, is that what it does? Is it on the last day of the month?
Yes.
I was wondering why I got interest.
Yeah. So then the next day I paid off that loan. And here's the benefit. Spoilers for anyone that doesn't want to know. But basically, when you pay off your loan, you can change your house for free now, the outside and all that stuff.
That's nice.
So I'm glad I never put any money into that originally.
Oh, I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know Tom Nook was working that move. Yeah, I'm glad you told me that. I'm excited about that. I'm not going to spend any money. I was about to get a new door, but definitely not now.
Yeah, just save that money, man. It works out.
Damn.
Yeah, like Little Dicky says, save that money.
Yeah, but yeah, no, Turnip Exchange has been pretty great. We threw some stats out yesterday when we hit over 1 million requests. It's still growing. Lots of people are using it. People are becoming rich. And not to say there hasn't been sites and things for this before, but I think we really did do something good. Made it easy, and we're still working on a few things to make it even easier for people to find things. But right now, if you're listening to this and you want to find a good island to go to with Turnip Exchange, you can go to our Discord, and we have a Turnip Exchange live channel that shows you all the current islands that, as soon as one's created, it's posted in our Discord, basically. And so you can see how many turnips or how much your turnips sell for at that island, and click the link and join the queue instantly. Couldn't be easier.
Yeah, that's, I think the best thing about it is how easy it is, because it's just kind of wild. I can't overstate how impressive it is that we literally sat down last Tuesday, me, you, and Chud, to iron out details of this, and you and Chud began work that night, and within a week it's up and running and making people millions of bells, so that Crook Nook can't be working us anymore. He's offering different prices on different islands, man, trying to hold the broke man down. I won't stand for it.
Yeah, and it should be noted, Chud had never played an Animal Crossing game.
Man, and explaining this shit to him was so fucking funny. He was like, so you buy turnips to eat them, or he were like, no, turnips are like the stock market. He's like, okay, now do you give them to your friends, or what's going on with these fruit trees? Why are we telling people that you got cherries? Why does that matter? It was just so wacky the whole time.
Yeah, it was like if we were having a conversation, like a business meeting, and someone was just listening in, they'd be like, these guys are insane.
Yeah, explaining anything in Animal Crossing to somebody who doesn't know what it is makes you sound like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, and he's like, okay, well, if you think it's gonna be cool, then let's work on it. And I'm like, I think it's gonna be big. I don't know how big, but I think it's got potential. And I needed you there, Xwater, to help back me up on the Animal Crossing stuff, because one person explaining it, I'm gonna do something wrong, or he's just not gonna get it. So having you there helped a lot. But yeah, as early as I want to say Saturday, we had a pretty good working prototype. And then we spent. I mentioned I think last podcast and maybe the one before it, like I had my sleep schedule like completely kind of fixed in a way where I was like going to bed around midnight.
Yeah, you were mentioning that.
7.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what my last 4 days were. I've been going to bed around 5 a.m., waking up at 10 a.m. So, not bad, but not great. Not great. But it's tonight our sleep. I will sleep very nice. It's for the greater good. It's gotten us some attention though, which has been really cool. Other than the Polygon article, we've seen some people from all sorts of other gaming companies and just areas like reach out and be like, hey, this is really cool. And like Animal Crossing has such a big reach that everyone's playing it. And that was never the intention. It was like, let's just make something cool that we would want to use. That's always been our reason for doing things. I would use this, I would build it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much been the basis of like, this would be cool.
Yeah, that's every idea that we've done. It's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. How can
some of the cool ones have to unfortunately get shelved because it's like, that's cool and would not ever be a viable business product.
Yeah. It just wouldn't. It's only useful to me right now today.
But like a great example of it's cool is fucking Ghost Express. Like Jaku's just like, what would be funny? Fucking haunting people.
Ghost Express is like, oh, I have to show you my passport. Can you look at my passport, Xwater?
I think I can. I'm gonna try and look at your passport.
Yeah. Press select. Take a look at my passport.
All right.
Yep, I can view passports.
I will explain to the chat.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, my passport's pretty nice. I feel like I'm actually the picture of a ghost now.
Wow.
Oh, Pooh, I have. This is my really first time seeing yours. That's an interesting shirt you've chosen.
Oh, I have. Yeah, it's a rocket ship.
Oh, it's a rocket. Yeah, I can see. I love that you have the aerodynamic fin on the bottom. Is that a double? Exactly. Is that a double fin?
Well, it got cut off on the shirt.
Yeah, I see.
The other fin got cut off on the shirt. Yeah. But it's a rocket ship.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have time to color it in because I was so excited to play the game. But yeah, so I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a great shirt, I can give you the QR code if you want.
I would like it, whenever you get a chance.
That's a great shirt.
You can go to Mabel Sisters and download it real quick.
Don't expose those poor sisters to that.
Yeah.
For those that are not watching the video, you're missing out. But my passport photo is of the ghost in the Animal Crossing game. It took a lot of finagling to get that to be my photo, and it's got the Ghost Express advertisement with the title of "Freshly Delivered Ghost," and that's something you can't create your own. You have to choose from options in the game, so it just works out perfectly. But Ghost Express is great. I was going to mention the idea that wouldn't work feasibly was Worm World.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it's like Uber for worms.
That idea was like 80%. The name made us all chuckle.
Yeah, exactly. we were just like Worm World.
We're pivoting.
Yep, we would pivot a lot, but no, it's been interesting. It's been fun. It's always cool when something goes kind of viral that you work on. And Pooh, you're no stranger to things like that happening. I've had it a number of times. It's never the thing you want though, to go viral. I'm glad that went viral, but I think we wanted our podcast last week to go a lot more viral than it did.
Hey, I mean, podcasting in games isn't like a completely new thing. Right. But yes, of course we were hoping that. But Turnip Exchange, here's what we got to do. We just got to post this video on Turnip Exchange.
We should,
there we go.
Since we're doing this,
exploiting it.
We need to have a call to action on the site when the podcast is live for it to pop up and be like, hey, Warp World Podcast is live now. We should just do that on all of our sites. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, what's wrong with plugging yourself? Nothing.
Okay.
Follow twitch.tv/xwater.
Yeah, I mean that's fine if you want like mediocre content, but
I beat Hollow Knight in 14 hours. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shade. First of all, like no need for the shade. Secondly, I have no idea if that's fast or not, X Waters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
same
know.
actually. It's I think a little bit. I think it's like on the good side of a blind playthrough.
But no, obviously X Water's content is great. I watch both you and Pooh a lot in my days of coding. And that's what's great. I think is like we enjoy
You
each
didn't call
other's
my
content.
shit mediocre. Remember that. X Waters.
Yeah.
I just do that. I throw shade at the X Water boys. Brother's a boy as well,
Yeah.
an X Water boy. No, we're all good friends. You got to throw shade at friends every now and then. But no, definitely
Absolutely.
stuff. And I think that's definitely something we should do is at least be like, hey, the podcast is live on our sites. We have 4 sites right now. Let's get some eyes on our stuff. We've worked hard. You know,
Absolutely.
If you don't have to
Let's start
pay for it.
exploiting our audience.
Oh no, we're not exploiting. It's just like it's giving them an option. You went to Turnip Exchange. You're waiting in the queue. It's an hour to wait. Why not watch a podcast?
Yeah, it's like when you go to Pornhub, it's not like their
Mhm.
ads don't include Pornhub Premium. You know, they're
Yeah.
selling themselves out. So I've heard. I've never been to the site myself, but so I've heard.
Yeah, YouTube does the YouTube TV ads all the time.
Yeah,
Same exact thing. Yeah, that's what you meant.
absolutely,
That's
same
what
deal.
Yeah, I mean, I you got to check out the competition, and so like going to Pornhub, you never know. We might want to compete in the porn industry. We might be able to come up with like a queue system.
We're gonna have to start hosting these at Pooh's Island. Then.
I got it. Oh my god, I got one. I know this is in the podcast.
Okay. All right. Yeah, let's give it to us.
I gotta. It's a porn site that only one person can watch that video at a time, because if you're watching a video and another guy's watching a video at the same time and you're both doing your business, I don't know.
Okay.
I love that
I
so
don't-
much. That's
like
the
you're
funniest thing.
guaranteed you're the
See,
only one watching it.
That's
Yeah.
a fucking $1
Um,
million idea that's not
That
worth
is
our time to
not
make.
$1 million idea. That is no.
You're
not
listen,
getting
Pooh.
content
I
on
respect you
demand.
as a businessman,
I don't
but
think
you're
anyone
wrong.
has ever worried about that in the history of time. That you're the only person watching this.
But now that
particular
you're
thing.
aware of the worry, aren't you a little bit?
I mean, now that you brought it up,
Yeah.
like that's not that. I mean, I wouldn't mind if that was the case, but yeah, I mean that's a lot.
Think about the
that's a
peace
lot
of
to think
mind
about, I
knowing
guess.
that you're the only person watching that video at a given time.
I mean, I guess that makes a lot of sense, in that respect, but I'm not exactly sure that it matters.
Man, I'm sorry you
It was
used that
definitely
here and
something
not on I
I
Got
didn't
One.
ever think about before until you just brought it up.
I know. I wish, it sucks today's April 2nd and we didn't think of this last week.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause this would have been a great April Fool's joke for like Pornhub to do. Be like, there are currently 5,000 people watching this video with you. Like,
Oh my God.
Like that would creep people out, I think.
See how many people are watching the video and what what gender they are. And it's
Yeah.
just like, that'd be hilarious if it just showed like 95,000 dudes.
97% of people watching this video are men above 40 from Idaho.
Activate their webcams. Oh my god.
Oh man, that is a step. That is another
Well,
step
but-
right there.
Glad we're giving Pornhub their future right there, their future April Fool's jokes.
Yeah.
Did you guys? I didn't. I gotta admit, I didn't see a ton of April Fool's jokes this year.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
one. I saw one. It was Linus
I saw
Tech
a few.
Tips. Linus Tech Tips did a pretty funny one where they uploaded a video where it's like the real story behind Linus Tech Tips, and it was like a 5-minute documentary style video where it exposed Linus as computer illiterate, and like he doesn't know how to install anything. He has everyone else do it, and he reads from a script the entire time. We have to read from a script our entire live podcast. We record them back to back. And it was pretty good, like exposing him as never knowing how to use a computer. And they're like, if you could just learn how to install a graphics card, you could save us all a lot of time. Shut up, just do it. Just do it. Just install it. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Oh man.
that's not bad. That's not bad. The one I didn't get hit by anything until like an hour after like midnight. So I was just like dicking around on Reddit for a little bit, and I saw a post on our speedrun, and it's like Mario 64 hacked ROM now legal in speedrun community.
I saw that.
And I opened it up and I started looking at the patch notes, and like there was a list of patch notes, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like they were like, yeah, with the recent thing with Sunshine, we decided we want to have a patched ROM too. And it's like the first four things are like, made Mips's hitbox bigger so he's easier to grab, made the frame window on the Bob-omb like super fast moving trick last 1 frame longer. And I sat there, and for like 0.6 seconds I started to feel a bubble of outrage, and I was like, oh wait a minute, hold on.
I saw another April Fool's joke on our speedrun, Cosmic, or not Cosmo, Super Mario Brothers 1 speedrun.
Mm-hmm.
There was a video of thanks. There was a video of a speedrun, not a speedrunner, but some like South American guy, I think, I don't know, where he beat Super Mario Brothers 1 in 5 minutes or so, and it was spliced together. What is what's the YouTube channel that exposes some of the speedrunning stuff?
There's
Carl
Jobst or Yobst or whatever.
Yeah, that one. He exposed it. He's like, here's where the splice videos came from, sort of thing. And the guy was really bad at it. Like, he spliced together a TAS and a few other runs, and he had like this. He kept the score from the TAS version or something. It was really bad. And so this video on our speedruns, he pretended like it was the same. Like, he made his own parody of that video, and like he was eating pizza in between stage, or drinking Coke and taking bites of pizza and stuff. It was great. So like that was amazing to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, at first I'm like, why am I watching another 5-minute speed run of Mario 1? And then I saw the layout. I'm like, oh, he's copying this video. This is gold. And then he explained it at the end for anyone that wasn't clued in on that, which was great.
Perfect 5-minute speed run.
Yeah. It ended perfectly on 5 minutes. It's like, and his reaction was so great because it copied the original guy that like made it seem like it was a big deal, but
yeah,
also
it was good.
Yeah, it was good. So like, I like those jokes for sure, and I thought the Mario one was fun too. I saw that. That's clever.
I thought I appreciated that there were some jokes. I understand why there were a lot fewer this year.
Yeah.
I didn't do one on my YouTube, for that specific reason. I was just like, not right. I don't know. Not right now. I don't want to do any. I don't want to do it. I know that maybe that's bad. Maybe we need the jokes, but I get why people. I think a lot of times too, because like there's those April Fool's jokes where you think like, man, I kind of actually do really want that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, Google didn't do any this year.
Yeah. Like the April, my favorite April Fool's joke is like IGN put it out one time where it was a futuristic Legend of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you motherfuckers, I want that so bad. I want it so bad. Yeah. Epona a motorcycle, like we've already had that. They've already had that in there. You know what I mean? But like, it's like Final Fantasy VII, futuristic. Hyrule is a city, a bustling city with shit going on. I think that would be fucking awesome. I would love that. You know what I mean? We don't need like robot chickens. You still got to figure out a way to work in chickens. But I just think that'd be super cool.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's the thing I want to see one day. So please make that happen, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Pretty please.
We always like. Warp World's only had one April Fool's joke, and it was the first year that we had the queue up, and it was like there was like 3 really bad levels I made, and the idea was if a bunch of people beat it, we would release a feature early, and people did play them, and that was just the April Fool's joke was that all the levels got added to everyone's queue too. You could remove them still, but it was kind of funny. It was like haha, but it didn't disrupt much, and it got people a new feature early, which was a fun way to do it. But we always talk about doing an April Fool's joke, and like, I'm not going to spoil it because maybe we'll do it next year. But like, we just got busy. Like,
yeah, we got busy.
What it usually happens.
Yeah,
Oh,
it slipped my
downfall
mind
of
for a
comedy.
while, man. Like I didn't even kind of realize it was April Fool's till it was April Fool's,
I
and I'm
think-
like, oh shit, yeah.
I think that's the other thing. Like time is in a weird spot right now, and not to not to keep harping on it, but I think everyone agrees with that. Like it's just what day is it?
Yep.
Does it matter? Like what's the date does not matter at all. It feels like everything feels like it's been going on for months and months and months and months. So.
Right? There's like so many great little pieces that like define how boring everything is right now. Like I saw someone posted like AM and PM are no more. It's now coffee time and alcohol time. And I was like,
Man, I don't
yeah,
drink either
I
of
can get
those.
behind that.
I'm screwed. I don't have either of those.
You got
Oh, my
Soylent
God.
time.
Yeah. Oh, well, let me tell you about Soylent right now. It's being sold out in a lot of places.
Damn.
So a lot of people are picking up Soylent right now, which is good for Soylent, bad for some of us that maybe not rely on it,
Well,
but use it a lot.
They're doing it because
Because it lasts, right?
It lasts for a few months, and yeah, it works. So like I made sure to stock up a little bit more, just to get me through another month or so, just in case. So I have like 3 cases coming the next few days, and I still have like 2 more cases, so like I should be fine. But yeah, like I've spent also like. It was pretty much all Soylent in March. Yesterday, when I went to the studio with Ross, he did buy me a burger. I'm like, yeah, I'm craving a burger. Let's get a hamburger. But other than that, I've been all Soylent. So definitely works.
Yeah.
that's insane to me. To be on all Soylent. Like, I don't even want to know what your bathrooms trips look like. Don't want to talk about it.
I will tell you this. I was very low on toilet paper, and I haven't gone to the store to pick up any, but I'm still good on toilet paper.
He's doing fine. Man's doing fine. The stuff is
That's good to know.
engineered
That's
to
good
be
to know,
like
because that's the
good
real
for
thing that
you.
goes on. I just still don't understand. Nobody's pooping more. You're not pooping more than you were before.
I know.
Like,
I know.
whether there's not, we don't need to be
Yeah, but
falling out on toilet paper.
I'm like all Soylent and water. It's crazy. I would not have, if you told me 5 years ago, like, oh yeah, Jack, you're not going to be drinking soda and even Arizona iced tea. Sorry, Arizona. I'm not even drinking.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how you know shit's wild.
Wow, Jakku, that's serious for you.
I know it's crazy, but it's been fun. Or maybe not fun, but it's been fine. It saves some time for sure, because drinking a bottle of Soylent so much quicker than eating anything else. But the burger was nice, and like treating myself to solid foods every now and then is great. It's treat.
Treating myself to solid food every day.
It sounds like you're recovering from like an intense fucking like stomach surgery.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, he's just lazy. That's what it is.
Oh my god.
There was one other April Fool's thing that I thought of, but I forgot. Unfortunately, we might come back to it. I don't know. It was yeah, who knows? Damn.
Yeah. I saw one that was just like it showed up in my Google News feed, and it said Netflix trailer for One Piece live action adaptation. And like Netflix has done like 7 anime live action adaptations. So I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. I watched like the first 20 seconds. It's got like these epic ocean cities looking like it's gonna be badass. It's got like the start, like the Pirate King going like, I planted all my treasure in one place, and then it just like switches to the shitty fucking intro song from the 4Kids the 4Kids version that was on like WB20 when I was growing up and everything.
Wow.
And just like stick figures. I was so upset.
That's pretty funny though. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that like really popped up for like an actual April Fool's joke that confirmed is an April Fool's joke.
Mhm.
There was a few products that were launched. I think, was it Intel that made like a video conferencing software or something to compete with like Zoom? Also, stop using Zoom. I've told people this before, but so many vulnerabilities have been exposed now that even more people are using it.
Oh yeah, Zoom apparently sucks real bad, eh?
Oh yeah. There was a huge vulnerability last year, but no one no one cared because only businesses really used it.
Uh-huh.
But now everyone's like, oh, Zoom, I can use Zoom to talk with my family. That's great. Talk with your family, find ways to do it. Google Hangouts, a little complicated for some people, but it works. Discord, a little complicated for some people, but it works. At least you kind of, those are a little bit more well tested. And Zoom doesn't require anything to be installed. You can do it all in your browser. Zoom, on the other hand, is like, let me install my client and do things and send your data to Facebook, even if you don't use Facebook. So lots of bad things. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well then, Zoom is, hey man, I'm just thinking my wife just used Zoom this afternoon, which is kind of funny, like literally this afternoon, and I'm like, fuck.
Yes, my
You know?
mom was using it for her book club meetings.
Oh, that's so cute. Yeah, that's so cute. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. I mean, we're here in Animal Crossing on Jakku's Island because it's the only place we can be.
It's my safe space.
Where
Yeah,
we
use
can
Animal
be
Crossing.
together. Yeah, be together. Let's talk a little bit of gaming news, though.
Yeah.
There's a big rumor going around, and it feels like a very true rumor. That Nintendo is going to be celebrating Mario's 35th anniversary, which is this year in 2020. And you know what? It'll be the anniversary that never ends, the way it's going. And they're going to be re-releasing some games. It seems like we might be getting a Super Mario All-Stars 2 edition. Just judging by it. Going with a smorgasbord of remakes right now, including Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, Mario Galaxy, Mario 3D World Deluxe, possibly coming out. A new Paper Mario seems to be coming out. Everything seems to be on the table to remake at this point. What do you guys think about that? Does that get your panties wet right now?
Dripping. Absolutely oceanic waterfalls happening on my side over here.
Mario 64 remake. Ugh.
I just hope they use the optimization code in GCC on this Mario 64 remake. No, I'm just kidding. If they do Mario 64 remake, that's insane. That's gonna be so cool. Because that was my biggest I wouldn't really say disappointment, but I'm gonna say disappointment. It was my biggest disappointment of Odyssey when they teased us.
Yeah.
With that, I'm like, let me go in the castle. Oh, they let me go. Come on, Bomb Battlefield. Just one level. No. Oh man, could you imagine? Like, here's if I was in charge of Nintendo, that'd be fun. But I would be like, listen, release some DLC for Mario Odyssey. Don't mention this, but in the castle, let them jump into Bomb Battlefield and have it be the first level in the Mario 64 remake. Don't make that in the notes, though. Give them something else in the DLC, something completely different. Let them discover this on their own.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would do to announce it.
That would be the biggest fucking press massive blow up. Like that would be killer. That'd be killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think everything is on the table. I could see like a new world in Odyssey. I would love if they just made Mario 64 with Odyssey's complete control engine. I would not be mad at that at all.
Yeah, you gotta remove Cappy, but yeah.
Yeah, remove Cappy and then just let the rest of it kind of play how it did.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be crazy awesome, super fun. I would be totally in love with it. I mean, I would love to just see, and see how much they remake these games. You know, how if it's going to be like Mario All Stars, where they're essentially the same games with spruce up graphics, or if they're going to. I mean, I can't imagine you can't really port Mario 64 over to HD graphics. It's just not going to work like that. You know what I mean? I'd imagine that has to be plugged into a new engine. Probably
some remaking definitely needs to be done there.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe Galaxies you can, but I definitely not.
Yeah. So I mean, you could take Mario's the ROM that the community has reverse engineered and has released source code on. You can take that and you can compile it to another system's architecture, and as long as it's the right format, it will play just as is, which is great for people that want to get it working natively on a computer. So like you don't need an emulator, it just runs natively. There's some work you have to do for certain things here and there, but they could do it. But there's no way they're going to do that, because like there's some things in that game that definitely need some improvement. And it's probably a lot easier to rebuild it in the tools that you have in the newest games like Odyssey than it is to take that existing old base and be like, let's add new things to it. So it's definitely the better way to go. So I'd be very interested in seeing it like work like Odyssey, because that would get you a fixed camera right away. You wouldn't have to implement that sort of camera system in the old game. The graphics alone are already good. The tools to build the levels are probably there. There's going to be a lot. And like the question for Mario 64, is it a Mario 64 remake or is it Mario 64 DS remake? Are we going to see the levels from that game potentially? And what about co-op? Would we get do you think we'll get the 2-player mode that was teased for Mario 64 2 before it got canceled?
I'd probably imagine no. I think
I would imagine no too.
yeah, I think it just strays too far from like how Mario games play. But it's interesting because like these games are going to be really different in their remakes or remasters. Like Mario 64, like, and I get probably Sunshine to a degree, but when we did the historians on Mario 64, like you learn that there's so much about that game that is the way it is, not because of like we want this to be like this because it's like because that's what we can do. That's what our hardware can do. Like that's why there's such few enemies around in so many levels. Kind of like why the game opted for the obstacles being, terrain instead of like actual, sprites or things in the world. So I would imagine that like a lot of these levels would get a lot of redesigning done to them, which I would be thrilled to see. But it would also be like, whoa, this is also kind of different. Like, how far would they stray to make it like still dope?
Yeah. No, and that's definitely a good point. Like, there's a lot that the game needs for like quality of life updates, but at the same time, like you want to be pretty true to the original. Otherwise, you're upset those fans. And they don't want to do that, but they've been pretty good about that in the past. Like even with Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask remakes, when they worked with the company to do those, they left some of the fun bugs that were part of that game, part of its charm, and they re-implement them on purpose because they're like, we don't want to take away from some of the fun that you had with the original game, but we do want to fix some really bad things.
Yeah,
so
like a great example is the Water Temple and having like lines in the Water Temple be highlighted to give you a better visual cue of how the fuck that thing works.
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's a nice quality of life update. And the one level with the rising water in Mario 64, not necessary to have it, but would be nice. So why not put it back in?
Yeah, like have some sort of way for someone to learn about the different levels of water based on where you jump into the painting. Because I didn't learn that until I started speedrunning the game.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know about that till I started speedrunning. And it's not like I hadn't like played that game at least twice a year before that.
Mm-hmm. Did you know about TikTok Clock then?
Yeah, TikTok Clock I knew about.
Okay.
Yeah, there's so many little things like, I don't know, like not like Easter eggs, but little tricks in Mario 64 that you really wouldn't know unless someone told you or you were very, very observant. Like as a kid, I just thought the water was rising randomly. You know what I mean? Like it like how could you not? You know what I mean? And I'd either be annoyed or I'd be stoked or whatever, like about what I got. And it is like so incredible. Like I had no idea about TikTok Clock until I started watching speedruns myself. So that would have greatly helped me at that time. So yeah, it is going to be interesting. I have to think that also you're going to want to, like Mario 64 is going to want to be bigger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like the castle will be bigger. Everything's going to, they're probably going to want it to feel bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking when they talk about Mario 64 being remade. Sunshine has really giant levels actually, but I wouldn't say Mario 64 has particular, especially like the sand level and some of those levels are just kind of these little circles, octagons or whatever, that they don't really have too much going on in them. I have to think they're going to want to make the game bigger, and I don't know if that means more levels or expanded upon levels, more stars. You actually talked about multiplayer. I could totally see multiplayer being added to at least Mario 64, where you're all on at the same time and you're going to, you're just collecting stars.
Oh,
as
that's
it
so
goes.
much fun.
That would
That'd
be
be so
really
much
cool.
fun.
It would be really dope.
I could also see them doing like, instead of being like faithful to the original, you can have nonstop, like the way nonstop is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Which I think that makes a lot of sense because kicking you out seems archaic in some ways, does it not?
Yeah, especially with Odyssey. I think like they learned, like Odyssey was built around not kicking you out because it wouldn't work otherwise. But like,
Yeah. The density of moons was so high that it would just suck if they did.
Oh yeah, the game would be this. Could you imagine the speed run of that? It'd be 90% re-entering a level.
Yeah,
Dude, it's already 50%. Looking at Moongit. So
exactly.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
It's interesting to think about Mario 64 level design for a second. The very first level, Bomb Bomb Battlefield, they put walls around you that you couldn't really see outside, so it looked like it was an enclosed world. But then you look at like the snow level, whatever reason, the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like this floating island. Same with Swamp's Fortress level, right? It's like you jump off, you fall. In the very first level, they taught you like, hey, we're gonna protect you and keep you from falling, which is nice. But the other levels, they started being like, yeah, forget it. Do you think we'll see a similar style then, or do you think they're gonna try to like do an Odyssey type thing, I guess, and like have the invisible barriers that like bring you back in or whatever?
No idea.
Yeah,
I'd imagine in general, it's just the quality of life in it is gonna be significantly better. Especially when it comes to like the camera, just the camera alone is going to be so much stinking better. And it is going to be interesting to see what translates from, like today's speed run to that remake. If they, for all those games, if they come to fruition.
Yeah.
I'm definitely, I think I'm most excited about Mario 64 and like, that was a great game. It's a fun game. And it's
still love playing it.
Like when I go and I have to test effects and stuff for it, I'm like, all right, yeah, this is fun. I enjoy this. I loved Galaxy. Like and by love, I mean, I did 100% completion in 2 days. I played it nonstop as soon as it came out, basically. And I completed every single star, both Mario and Luigi. And I haven't played it since. But
it's long. It's a very long game. Even just like it's not like Mario 64 where you can sit down and haven't played it in a year and beat it in a day. You know what I mean? Get your 70 stars and beat it in a day. It's a long fucking game. You know what I mean? Galaxy is that's a grind, man.
It is.
And I think that's kind of one of the reasons why we have that problem. So yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. I loved Galaxy 1. I loved Galaxy 2 slightly less.
Same.
But I don't think I don't think it's a worse game by any means. I think it just like
I already played it.
Exactly. I had already played all of this. It's I guess slightly harder.
And
a little bit.
Yoshi.
Exactly. It wasn't that exciting of a change.
Yeah.
So I didn't like Galaxy 2 nearly as much as I enjoyed Galaxy 1. But I mean, either way, I still would totally play a remake, like 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if they give us some, upgraded camera. I'm curious about how they're going to do like the star bits. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely seeing how they would handle, like they haven't ported a ton of Wii games over, and I'd love to see how they handle that. Because I mean, the big one that I want to see ported, not unrelated to Mario, is Skyward Sword. I want that game to get another chance, but like the motion controls work great with the Joy-Cons, but having a non-motion control scheme would be awesome. But the game was like literally built for motion controls. So it's like, how do you strip out the core gameplay if you take it out?
Yeah.
You just wouldn't be able to play with a Pro Controller.
Yeah, exactly like that. You can't hold up the Pro Controller and slash.
Yeah.
It will be interesting.
Yeah.
For sure. And I played Skyward Sword when it first came out. Haven't played it since. I think it's really the only Zelda game that I've never gone back to. it looks like when I see speed runs of it and stuff, I'm like, yeah, this isn't the best Zelda game, but it's not the worst by any means. But it's just I don't have a huge passion to go back to it. But if they remade it, I would definitely check it out again. Like, it's not a bad enough game to avoid altogether in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I replayed it recently. It's definitely not a bad game. Like, it's fun. It's got its charm. It's definitely got its problems though. You know what's the one thing that if they bring back Sunshine, you know what they have to take out is those goddamn chucksters and that one like secret world where, you know how like all the secret worlds, they take away FLUDD and you're going around and you're doing these hard platforming challenges.
I love those.
And then you go to one of them and the challenges are talk to these fucking chucksters and they'll throw you to the next platform, but you got to talk to them at the perfect angle. And you get to the last one and he's like, am I going to throw you forwards or backwards? Who the fuck knows? I'm not going to behave like the other ones. Like, fuck that level, dude. That level's stupid. That game was stupid.
I can't believe he said it like that too. That was word for word.
That's my salty fucking moment of the right now.
Millennia.
Yeah.
Fair.
That is fair. The levels in Sunshine where you didn't have the water pack though, and it was just like,
I did love those levels.
Yeah, I want more of those. If we get those, like, I'd like an endless mode of those where it's like randomly generated, and you just have to like get through it as much as you can, and maybe something gets generated that's impossible, but who cares? It's just fun.
Yeah, who cares?
It's free content,
dude. If they let you. If they could make a 3D Mario Maker if they gave you like all of the objects that exist in that little weird space in the Sunshine like subworld area, like that would be like, you could definitely do a 3D Mario Maker in something like that.
You could, but I don't know. I don't think I think we'd have 99.9% garbage in 3D Mario Maker, and it'd be very hard to find good
3D Mario Maker's harder. Yeah, and just the way that 3D Mario is set up, it's more about like exploration and getting a bunch of different things, whereas like, you know, 2D levels aren't like that. They're just one goal. But I mean, I totally would love to play, you know, like some cool, like my favorite part of Sunshine is the bonus levels without FLUDD.
Yep.
Because they're kind of like, you know, weird like 3D Kaizo levels in some ways.
Exactly.
I really enjoyed them. Yeah, they're super fun. I think there could be some good shit, but I think it is just significantly harder to build in 3D. You know,
Speaking
like 100%.
Speaking of good shit, Germ Dove with the Patreon.
Good shit.
Good shit.
Thank you.
Good
Germ
shit.
Dove.
Good shit.
Should we talk about some other good shit?
Yes.
All right. This has been long in the works. I've been a huge advocate of this. I think you could trace back tweets of this back in
talked about this
2017, maybe even 16 if I was that smart. I don't know. But Twitch today announced that they're giving users with two-factor special emotes. This is not a new thing in the world of security and gaming companies and stuff where they give you a reward for enabling two-factor. Epic Games gave you an exclusive dance, I believe, or emote, or not emote, but yeah, like a dance. And so like, it's about time is all I can say. We got some people in Twitch chat with two-factor enabled. Anyone that doesn't, now the people that can't spam this, we know are vulnerable to this attack and are now put on a list where Russian hackers are going to get your account. So you might want to go enable that two-factor immediately. It's cool. It's a nice surprise to finally see. Again, it's been something I've been telling Twitch to do for many years, probably talked to over 50 employees where I'm like, hey, you should get emotes. Like, you don't do anything with emotes, but I'm just going to mention it to you. This just is another long list of things I've told Twitch to do that they finally came around to do. And obviously
not paying you though. You got to stop giving them ideas, man. You got to stop giving them all free ideas.
I need them. Yeah. Hey, I don't have a job, Twitch.
Just don't tell them your unique viewer porn idea. Just don't give them that one.
Yeah, that one's ours.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm glad to see it. It's a nice step in the right direction. An idea that I've thrown out before, is rewarding our users to have two-factor on Twitch.
Yeah.
And so, but there's no API call for it. Obviously, they're not going to let you do that. But a workaround is to have them go into a channel and throw their emote in it, the two-factor emote, and if they do, we can detect that and give them something special. So maybe there's some crowd control perks in the future that users can have if they have two-factor enabled. It's something to help encourage security. It is a real threat. There is a big problem with like just security in general on computers and stuff. It is a big deal. Twitch has financial services on here. You can have your credit card linked. If you're a streamer, you need to have two-factor. It's a requirement. But like if you have subs or bits or something, it's not that your credit card can get stolen, but someone could use that credit card to spend your money, and you don't want that. So
No.
definitely look into that. And make sure you have it enabled. It's a small inconvenience for a huge relief.
Yeah, man, everybody always thinks it's not going to happen to me until it does.
Until it does.
A number of our friends has fallen to passwords being stolen and stuff, and because they didn't have two-factor.
Fuck, it happened to me on Epic.
Yeah.
I got I ended up getting $100 on Epic spent by someone who got the compromised account, and I was like, fuck, that's right. I signed up for this account when I didn't ever expect to use it, and I used a non-secure old shitty password. Don't worry, I've ditched those practices.
Dude, I had a really great password on one of my accounts that got jacked lately, and luckily, like, they didn't do anything on it, but they totally and the only reason I got it back was because I happened to know the person sitting to my right here. I didn't think about if it was right or left, because I'm facing the camera. That's the only reason I was able to even retrieve it. Thank gosh. And technically, I haven't even retrieved it. It's just not in their possession anymore. So,
yeah, no, it helps to have some contacts. That worked out in our favor that time. But like,
thank God, dude.
Yeah, not everyone has a me, I guess, that can help you get access back if you detect it early enough.
Yeah.
And it can happen to anyone. It really can. So do the best you can, have a good password, use a password manager, enable two-factor. You get a reward for it now, which is nice. But it's cool. It's good to see Twitch doing this. And again, like, every time they do something that I've been someone that's like, I've suggested this 1,000 times. I'm sure hundreds of other people have also done it. So I'm not the one reason why this has happened, and I don't want to.
No, don't be modest. Get your money, man.
Get my money. I'll get my money.
Get your money, man. Get your money.
Where's my money?
Yeah.
Where's the money, Lebowski? It's down here somewhere. Let me take another look.
All right, let's get to this week's hot take. So a little bit of bad news came out today. The Last of Us 2, which was a game all of us were greatly looking forward to. I would think even more given the current situation. It was supposed to come out the end of May. Has now been delayed indefinitely. Which means we don't know when it is coming out. Now, as gamers, we're sad about this. Obviously, I think we're sad about this. But the reason, and by the way, I should mention the reason they're saying is that they cannot provide the launch experience that the game deserves and the gamers deserve across the world. I think they want to have a simultaneous launch across the world, which I respect. It's a very big story. I respect the reasons why they did this.
Yeah.
I think also the subject matter might hit weirdly close to home in this particular game too, in some different ways.
Deserted world, man.
Yes. So my question to you for this week's hot take is: Last of Us 2 being delayed kind of for the better right now, or is it for the worse because we're bored and Animal Crossing at the end of May is going to be, we're going to play it a lot by then.
Yeah. No, I think it is for the best. For the main reason you talked about, like, because of the current situation in the world, like, the game hits too close to home. you look at streets and stuff, and like there's not infected people and zombies or whatever, but there's less people, and it feels like that. When you look at a city and you look down a street and you see nobody, it has a eerie feeling to it. Even though there's no zombies lurking around the corner, you're just still like, something's off. It's not normal. And I think, like, you know, by delaying it because they want to do this world release as well, like you said, maybe some areas would be able to get it, but by the time it comes out to another area, if you don't do this worldwide release, people are going to already have seen the story and have played it, and you're not going to sell as many copies. And like, I think part of it, they're doing it for the greater, like, good of humanity sort of thing. Like they're looking out for fellow humans. The other is obviously money. They want to make as much money as possible, and they deserve to. They put a lot of work in this game. So I think it's more than acceptable to delay it. It sucks. Yes, all delayed games suck. We hate when it happens, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes you got to make those choices.
Yeah, and it's the case of, like, we're not entitled to it in any way. Like, if it's not ready, it's not ready. Granted, like, the last 3 weeks where the isolation has gotten, like, yeah, I had a word fumble
Social
there.
distancing.
Social no touches has been going on.
Social no touches has been going on for the last 8 years, Xwater.
Yeah, maybe in your life.
Whoa.
No, but like, their development likely has been massively slowed over the course of the last 4 weeks with everything happening, right? Like, it's no secret that, like, some places have had a hard like, you can't, not everyone can just be like, all right, I'm working from home, and then, like, everything is as efficient as it was. Like, there's going to be a lot of workplaces that are massively struggling, and the game was set to come out at the end of next month. So being so close, they're obviously, like, within a crunch right now. And now they're kind of like, well, we're within a crunch, but our employees are working from home. And how are you going to make an employee crunch if they're at home? And, like, what are we doing?
Their employees have to deal with their kids in school.
Yeah, exactly.
Different game,
Yeah.
But you're sending files to a lot more unsecure places,
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
So, I mean, totally. Like, I mean, Jaku, like, in theory, I'm not saying you would do this, but in theory, if you knew someone at Naughty Dog, you happen to know someone, you could probably acquire that file one way or another, correct?
Yeah. No, that's a huge point. At this point, because so many people are working from home, individuals are a bigger target than before. Like their personal emails, because a lot of people will be using their home computers as opposed to work computers to do this as well. So it's a much bigger risk. Absolutely.
Yeah. Most jobs aren't sending you home with a computer, baby. Like, that's just the real of it. And it is going to be something. It is it's hard to talk about everything we need to talk about in this new normal, because a lot of us don't want to accept it as a new normal. But we're running this podcast in Animal Crossing for the foreseeable future right now, baby. So I think the cybersecurity question is going to keep coming up in a lot of different ways. But I mean, getting back to it, I totally agree that I think this is probably the right thing to do for a multitude of reasons. I think this is a special game. This isn't nothing against, like, Cyberpunk or something. This isn't a new IP. This is a game that means a lot to a lot of people. And not only that, the characters mean a lot to a lot of people. Like, I love Ellie. I love her to death. I think she's probably the most amazing video game character that's ever existed. I love the story. I can't wait to play it out. I think there's a lot of things, though, totally agree that there's a lot of things in Last of Us 2 that give you a reminder of the world currently. And it's it might be weird to play some of the darker points of that, and I think it's something that we might appreciate more when this is all over too. It might even have a bigger impact when it's all over in some ways. So I think the issue is and I don't know how much Naughty Dog has control over this, but if it gets pushed back beyond the PlayStation 4, like if the PlayStation 5 already comes out, because I'm sure Sony wants it out, and I don't know how much Sony can say about that. Like, can Naughty Dog just be like, no, we'll release it when we release it?
I
Yeah.
think
People are still
Sony
gonna buy it,
has a heavy say in the operations there, because I'm pretty sure Sony owns. I think Sony owns Naughty Dog. They're a direct part of Sony, like
Are
Sony
they a
Computer
first party
Entertainment.
then? Or second party?
Yeah,
They might
like
be.
I think they're a second party. I can't remember exactly how it works, but I know like there's a reason that every Naughty Dog game has been PlayStation exclusive. Like any Crash Bandicoot games that
Whoa,
have come out.
No, there was a Crash game on the DS, wasn't there?
Yeah, but Crash got sold to Activision.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yep.
So like Naughty Dog is like that.
Who
That
sells
is
their mascot, man? Bandicoot was the mascot of PlayStation.
Yeah, no. Okay, Naughty Dog is 100%. Yeah, they're 100% owned by Sony. I still don't know. Like, I don't know if that means anything though. Like, they might have that much creative freedom because they're
Yeah.
Naughty Dog. You know what I mean?
I think Sony might have got involved in this decision for sure. I don't think this
absolutely.
So I think Sony's like on board with this. And it might like the capitalist idea in my head right now is also Sony's like just delay it, and then we'll make it a PlayStation 5 launch. Like we can port that easily in the next 5 months. And it will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive instead.
Yeah,
And
it's very possible.
People will have to be like, well, sorry, it was going to be PlayStation 4, but due to the situation, we just moved it to 5s. And people will be like, well, shit. Or they're just
Okay.
both.
Here's a little quote from the Wikipedia, though, real quick, from Keith Garrett, who I have. He's the studio's lead effects artist.
Yeah,
whenever
I know
this
very
was written
well.
on Wikipedia. Yeah. And I'm going to skim through it to the right, though. Sony has put us in this fantastic situation where we don't have any producers. We don't have any interactions with Sony corporate at all on the development. So the Naughty Dog also has complete freedom in basically every aspect of game design. And that means the studio does not prevent them from any implementation of game elements. So this could be definitely a situation where, this is totally Naughty Dog's decision, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand, especially as if they consider themselves artists, which I think Naughty Dog 100% does. I think that's something you can point to. Like, they don't want their art to come out in this particular situation. I get it,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice. You mentioned Cyberpunk, and it's already had a delay, and it's a new IP, so I can see one reason why they would delay it because of that. Because like they want everyone to experience that at the same time as well. Not everyone might not be able to. And we've seen their booths at all these conferences. They had so many booths.
They've got so much hype.
So much booth.
They had a huge plan to do like
Big E3.
Yeah, well, like a big E3, but a big launch as well.
Mhm.
Could we see a delay of Cyberpunk still?
I think we're gonna see another Cyberpunk delay. That studio is known for heavy crunch.
I don't wanna gloat and be like, I knew it, because like it wasn't for this reason that I would have called the delay. But like when they delayed it the first time, I'm like, I bet you there's another delay.
Yeah, they might not be able to, like, I don't know. It's going to boil also down to what happens with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox. The Xbox, as far as I'm aware, is still planning on launching at the this upcoming holiday. That's still their plan.
Yeah, Sony too, I believe.
Yeah, we'll see how far that pans out for them. But Cyberpunk, I feel like the majority of like massive games that aren't gold already, if that makes sense, like the games that aren't already being printed and everything like that, are probably going to see some months of delay depending on the game. But honestly, The Last of Us being delayed, like it's end of April release for it. But dude, we've got so much to play right now.
we do. We're fortunate that there were a lot of good games that just came out.
We got Final Fantasy VII and Resident Evil 3 both coming out like this month.
Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh God, Resident Evil 3.
Jack was like, "No, I can't do Warp World stuff tomorrow. I gotta play Spook Game."
No, I gotta do Friends Friday, man. We got
we got Survivor.
Oh my God, Island Survivor! I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm
Animal Crossing Survivor.
I'm very excited for this. This is some role playing in Animal Crossing. I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, I'm super pumped.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good time.
But Resident Evil 3, I'll play on the weekend.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not going to start Resident Evil 3 till Monday, I think.
Yeah, you can play it on stream.
Yeah, definitely.
All right,
100%.
I'm gonna beat it Sunday then, and then I'll watch your stream. I beat it in a day. That was Resident Evil
Well,
2.
I've heard it's pretty quick. Resident Evil 3 the first one was pretty quick. You know what I mean? It's definitely not the behemoth of Resident Evil 2. It doesn't have multiple, A and B things.
No.
So I'd imagine it'll be relatively, a relatively fast experience. Maybe 1 or 2 streams. So
yeah, I was able to get Resident Evil 2 down to like 2 hours completion time.
It's impressive.
Yeah. Well, I went ham on it. I was like, yes, this is the game. So I'm excited for 3. But yeah, cool. All right, let's get to some side questions.
Side questions.
Let's do it.
Do we have these on the app?
We
do.
Sure do.
Or amazing. All right. This first question comes from Manic T. Hi, Islanders. What are some rules in your chat you wished you implemented earlier? What are some you have in place now that wouldn't have worked when you were smaller?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good one. I like this one. I like this one a lot.
I have one word that's filtered in my chat that will instantly remove anything you say in it. That's my number one rule. And it's yep. Can't say that word. Someone sent me a model of that fish.
And did you ban them?
Me. I'm thinking about it.
Do you have the dab fish in your museum?
I do.
You can't take it out.
No, I submitted it because I want to complete the catalog.
Like, you know what? You just admitted to going against your own morals for
I donated it. I don't sell any of them. I always throw them back.
Throw them back.
Yeah. I always throw them back.
He can't not give Blathers at least one.
Yeah. It's like it was very hard. I was very torn, but I'm like, I just won't sell them. I will throw them back. And I act like they don't exist when I catch them. But I can't think of any other rules that would have worked when I was smaller. Because I don't have a lot of rules.
Yeah, I don't think I have any real set rules. Like, it's just the common sense shit. Don't suck, and everything's cool. I like Laser Belch's approach. He talked about it with us when he was on that one episode. The only rule is don't get banned. What gets you banned? Who fucking knows? Just don't say the wrong shit to me and you're fine.
Yeah, no, it's fair.
Yeah. I think one rule I did add to my panel, my rules panel a while, it's a long time ago. I was like, if you're under 18, don't tell me how old you are. Don't talk about your age in the chat, especially if you're under 18. I don't want to know. I don't want to know
if he doesn't know, it's not illegal.
Oh my God. No, I don't want some kid coming in, I'm in the middle of ranting about some not kid-friendly shit and someone saying, I'm 13. I'm like, well, thanks for ruining my good time.
No, I know the reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's still illegal, by the way.
Yeah. Rules that I have now that wouldn't work when I was smaller. I don't know. I feel like I just time people out for fun a lot more now, and I feel like maybe that wouldn't fly as well smaller, but maybe it would.
Yeah. Be careful not to ban people accidentally, though, or for fun right now.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't even touch on that. There's a bug where if you ban a sub, they lose their sub.
Yeah, it's rare, but it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I think all my rules are exactly the same as they ever have been.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I can't really think of one. I don't know what would work better or not.
It's an interesting question.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there is. I mean, I think when you're smaller, you have a tendency. I think the one thing, you're smaller, you have a tendency to let a few things go because you want to keep that viewer.
Yeah.
But you don't, man. When someone starts to take over, and make things awkward or something, don't just be like, oh, okay, guy. No.
Just get rid of them. Yeah.
Right then.
Even if you have one less, if you have a less active chat for an hour, the chat when it is active is going to be something that the people who are there are going to be like, that was fun. I want to come back to that.
Yeah, that's a great rule to think about. Like, don't let that like, if that person did stick around and you let it happen, when you do get bigger, like, you're gonna have to deal with them with a much bigger audience, and they're gonna turn off so many people. So do exactly what Pooh said. Is like, don't even let them. You see it once, just be like, you know what? No,
man, that's a mistake I made many a times. I definitely, yeah, that's like the number one like new streamer modding advice. Just don't be afraid to click ban. You know, don't worry about it.
It's a tough choice though, because it is like, for many people, it's like either I talk to this person or I play this game for 4 hours with no one else.
Yeah, like, they don't need to break one of your channel rules. Like, if you think they suck, get them out of there.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
Yeah, like, I think that's a big thing. Like, streamers don't realize. Like, oh well, he didn't break a rule technically. It's like, no, habitual. If he's an habitual line pusher, not a line pusher, a habitual line pusher.
I'm a line pusher though.
You're an habitual line pusher for sure, Jakku, but not in a dick way.
Yeah.
In a you pretty much push against the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which makes me nervous because I'm scared of the man. I'm terrified of the man. You know what I mean? Like, I do not want to fuck with the man. I want to be off the man's radar. And when I'm in your orbit, I'm a little bit on the man's radar. You know, like, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's something that I try to avoid a little bit, I guess I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck the man.
Fuck the man. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fair. All right. We got another question. This one comes from our good friend, Rated R. Hey, ex-Puku, what is the most lost you have ever been in a video game? Looking for the next progression. I'm talking spending hours or days looking for the right item, location, etc. to no avail. Pooh, I'm sure you got a great answer on this. I think I know Xwater's answer, so I'm going to take that time to think of mine.
And man, I don't know. This is really tough.
I got one that's the obvious one is Breath of the Wild Last Seed.
Yeah, that's not the one I'm thinking of though.
One that I wasn't necessarily lost, but I couldn't.
Is there a clock in your background, Xwater?
What?
Or is that yours, Jakku?
That's in my game.
Oh, that's in your game. Oh my god, that was in the game?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was on the island. I didn't realize it.
Yeah, my shop's closed.
On the GameCube, I played Star Fox Adventure. Remember that game? The fucking former dinosaur planet. So there's a segment in that game where you have to go through this test of strength against one of the dinosaurs, and it's just a mash A contest. But they made the standards for how fast you have to mash A so unreasonably high that it took me, I kid you not, 1.5 years to advance past this segment of the game. I didn't like play it every day or anything, but until I found I had to literally like learn the new tech, and it's how I spam nowadays. But like the GameCube's got that big fat A button. So what I would do is, instead of like, mashing my thumb, I would bring out my 2 index fingers and do methodical back and forth between them, where it's like, sure, maybe each of them is moving at about 60% of my one thumb, but together that is 120%, and that was enough to get me past it.
That math checks out.
Yeah,
I thought you were
I think that's some Steiner math right there.
I was thinking I was thinking Xwater was going to potentially mention Super Metroid.
Oh yeah, that one was fucked.
Yeah,
that one was fucked. I forgot about that, man. That was awful.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't think of much. It's and I don't want, like, I'm sure I got stuck in games. I'm bad at remembering bad things, I guess. If I have a bad experience with something, I usually block it out. It's not necessarily a good trait. Yeah, it's not necessarily good though. But yeah, I don't know. The game, I don't know. You go, Pooh. I got to think more.
Oh man, I mean, I'm still thinking too. Like, yeah, it's like, I mean, there's been tons of times like I was so stuck in the Adventures of Lolo as a kid that I spent hours on the Nintendo hotline with them just walking me through the game, which is not how you want to go through the Adventures of Lolo, because that literally takes all the game away, because it's a puzzle game. So like I just had literally Nintendo hotline giving me the answers to the puzzles, but I was a kid And I don't think that counts. And my grasp of time as a kid was, not good. I probably was only stuck on it for like an hour. Honestly, but it felt like years. I'm trying to think of something like recently that I've been super stuck on and just couldn't do, like, especially something on stream. I mean, I was pretty stuck on, I spent like 6 hours on finding the first part of the Grand Poo World 2 puzzle, but then I actually cruised through the puzzle itself pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad example though.
Yeah, but that was like, I was not proud of that moment.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like something else.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't so much the game. It was like Final Fantasy 11, which is the MMO Final Fantasy for anyone that doesn't know. Like that had some interesting things in it where it was a long grind. And like, I think finding out some of the stuff, like getting your Chocobo license was a lot of work. It was like I want to think it was like 3 or 4 real in-game or real days in real life to do. And like figuring out the progression on that sometimes it's not easy. But a lot of things were kind of figured out in the community, and you had tons of people to ask because you're all playing online. But that's probably the game that I can really say, like, I got stuck a lot in progression because either I couldn't figure something out or you needed like more people to be involved. Like there was one area where you need like 6 people to stand on 6 different spots. And so like if you couldn't find a party that wanted to go do that, you were stuck. So it's not necessarily in the same vein, but like I did need the right item, which would be more people. So I guess that counts, but oh man,
legal. It's legal. We're good.
It's legal. We're allow it.
Yeah. I was stuck on Spelunky, like I never beat Spelunky for hundreds of hours, if that counts. Like it took me a long time before my first win of Spelunky. Not hundreds, but it was a long fucking time.
Abe's Odyssey probably had a lot of moments thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Where you're just like, what trigger do I do? Like I'm thinking like there's probably these small little mini games and games that like you spend 2 minutes if you know what to do, but you're sitting there and you're spending 30 minutes thinking about it. And you just don't really think about those aspects of those games. Tales of Symphonia had a few things like that. I remember recently from my playthrough a little bit of that. But yeah, like there's probably a lot of games where it's just a minor thing that completely blocks you. Like that dinosaur thing. You had to mash A. At least you didn't press start immediately and give up. But like in Metal Gear. But at the same time, there's probably just a lot of games where like it doesn't stand out because when you did complete it, it was so easy. By going back to the game, you might remember it.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
Well, let's get
It does look like it's bedtime, though.
It does. Yes. I had to put my shades on. Time to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. Continue to check us out on the Patreon. We're actually only $50 away, probably less now.
Yeah.
From hitting the $1,000 mark. Or something. Yeah, put on something nice here, Jaku. You're looking pretty broke ass over there.
I got business meetings to go to.
Yeah, no, we just want to say again, thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there. I mean, stay at home if you can. If you can't, stay safe. And we appreciate whichever you're doing, whatever industry you're working in. And just thank you all so much for watching and supporting. And episode 141. In the books.
In the books.
Yay! We didn't do a good job with emotes this time, guys. If we stay in Animal Crossing, we got to be better with this.
We're at more. It was a busy week, like we mentioned. Turnip Exchange took over my life. Things will be settling down, but we're doing a better job.
Yeah,
I'm pretty tired, but it's fun. I love this Animal Crossing podcast recording. It's a great time. I hope everyone else is enjoying it. Definitely be sure to check out the YouTube. For these videos because they are something a little special.
Yeah.
All right. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.